What happened? You eat something?
Sir, he is here. My only duty. Please save him. I can't even think of spending a single moment with him. He is my love and he is my everything. You know.
Is he your husband? Never mind. I'll take care of everything. Mr. Ajmal is duty in order. Believe me, all will be done.
Really? You will right. I knew it was a great idea. Picking a fellow as fine as you.
Please take your seat.
Court is now in session. Party case of the state versus Bilal Ajmal. Are both sides ready?
Yes, Your Honor, the prosecution is ready.
Ready, Your Honor?
Mr. Ajmal, please rise. You are accused of the murder of your spouse, Anusha Ajmal. How do you plead? Very well. Prosecutor, you may begin with your opening statement.
Your Honor, the evidence will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Bilal Ajmal is guilty of the heinous murder of his wife, Anusha Ajmal. We have witnesses, forensic evidence, and a clear motive that will establish Mr. Ajmal's guilt.
Your Honor, my client maintains his innocence. There is no substantial evidence linking him to this crime. We will demonstrate that the prosecution case lacks concrete proof.
Prosecutor, call your first witness.
The state calls Mrs. Anwar to the stand.
Mrs. Anwar, please state your name, occupation, and relation with the district party leader.
I'm Anusha Ajmal.
I died elementary school teacher and mother of four children.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Anwar.
Yes.
I'll make sure that your daughter gets justice and the one responsible for her death gets what he deserves. So, Mrs. Anwar, when was the last time you spoke with your daughter?
The night before her death. We call each other daily at night before going to sleep and exchange few words before saying goodbye. It had become habit for both of us.
Then, did you also call her on the night of the 8th of August?
Yes, I did, but she didn't answer any of my calls. I assumed she fell asleep, as past month had been too stressful for her. So I also stopped calling her number and went to sleep.
How? I mean, why was the past month mentally stressful for this girl?
Misha used to tell me how she and Bilal get into arguments over minor things that would stress her out. Bilal had started nitpicking to almost everything that she would say or do.
Mrs. Anwar, what do you think is the reason behind this controlling, I may say, argumentative behavior of Mr. Ajmal? I mean, he has been your son-in-law for 5 years. What could have caused this?
Objection, Your Honor. Mrs. Anwar is asked a specific answer-oriented question that points to a certain speculation.
Sustained.
Can you elaborate on how you found Mr. Ajmal's dead body?
In the morning, when I checked my phone, there are no contacts from Nisha. I began to get worried. I tried her number 9 times, but it never went through. At the end, I decided to pay her a visit. When I leave their house, no one answered the door. I used barricade that Nisha had given me to get inside, and when went that,
Mrs. Anwar, you can take your time.
when I went inside, I found my daughter lying on the floor in the pool of her own blood. I checked, but she was no longer breathing. I called police.
Thank you. Your Honor, when police arrived at Mr. and Mrs. Ajmal's residence, they acquired a number of crucial evidence that all point toward Mr. Ajmal being responsible for this heinous murder. And these are the evidence found by police during investigation along with the autopsy report verified by forensic specialists, which states that Anusha Ajmal died at 9:25 p.m. on the 8th of August in accordance with the levels of rigor mortis observed in her body. The cause of death stated is blood loss from the wound on her head, most probably caused by the strike from a heavy object, something like a flower vase for instance. In fact, this is the exact stand which the defendant used to end the life of his vulnerable spouse. Along with all these, there is blood found on the edges of the stand, and that blood is Mrs. Ajmal's, proven quite easily through a simple DNA test. have also been discovered. Two sets to be exact. One, of course, belonging to the victim, Mrs. Ajmal, and the other to none other than Mr. Bilal Ajmal. Your Honor, the state urges the court to impose a sentence commensurate with the severity of the crime in light of all the evidence presented.
Your Honor, I will demonstrate that the presence of fingerprints doesn't prove intent or involvement of my client in the murder. We request the opportunity to present our case and refute these allegations.
Very well. Defense, you may proceed with
Your Honor, the presence of fingerprints doesn't prove my client's involvement. There could be various explanations for their presence on the murder weapon. The prosecution is leading to a biased conclusion.
Defense, ensure your evidence is solid.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to ask Mrs. Anwar some questions. So, Mrs. Anwar, first of all, I am sorry for your devastating loss. Mr. Ajmal has been your son-in-law for 5 years, and I am sure you are familiar with his personality and character more than anyone in this court.
Yes.
Has he ever been disrespectful or abusive toward you or your daughter in any way at any instance in the past 5 years that you have seen with your own eyes? Do you remember any by chance?
Never. Inside him more competent than my own.
Your Honor, my client has always been a kind and honest man who doesn't discriminate against anyone irrespective of their status or origin. Plus, arguments between husband and wife are a common occurrence. To use this as a motive of murder is not logical. And I am confident that my client is innocent because he was not present at the crime scene at the time of murder on 8th of August from 8 p.m. till 9 a.m. in the morning because of an urgent high demand order. Now, let me show you video evidence.
If he has been at his office the entire time, then where does he disappear off for a whole hour between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.?
Your Honor, let me show you one more video evidence. Your Honor, as you saw in the video evidence, my client went to a nearby restaurant to have a dinner with his close friend Faisal Khan from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mr. Ajmal was accompanied by Faisal Khan for the entirety of dinner, and after that, both returned to the office.
Objection, Your Honor. Defense's claim is speculative and not based on concrete evidence. He could have been anywhere between this time and the evidence would be fabricated.
Sustained. Defense focus on presenting concrete evidence.
Your Honor, defense would like to call Mr. Faisal Khan to the stand.
Mr. Khan, please state your name and occupation for the record.
The judge is asking for your name and your job.
Oh, yes, for sure. My name is Faisal Khan and I'm the close body of it standing over here.
Mr. Khan maintains decorum while in court and abstain from using such crude vocabulary.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So, Mr. Khan, tell us where were you on the night of 8th of August?
You're right. That night, me and Will went to a US spot and drank a Kashmiri tea. Let me tell you, sir, that's the best Kashmiri tea anyone can ever taste in the whole world.
Yes, we can guess that from your enthusiasm. Moving on, Your Honor, as the video evidence and eyewitness indicate, my client is not guilty of heinous charges pressed against him.
Objection, Your Honor. Defense's claim is baseless.
Sustained.
Prosecution would like to ask Mr. Khan a few questions.
Prosecutor, you may proceed with the question.
Mr. Khan, on that particular night at the restaurant, did anything seem suspicious or eerie to you?
Oh yeah, Bill had to go to the toilet for 20 minutes. Man, that was hilarious.
Mr. Khan, can you elaborate on what happened?
When we were drinking, Bill had to get money from an ATM. Normally it takes 5 minutes, but that night he took 25 minutes. When I asked him about the bill, he told me had to use the toilet badly.
Mr. Khan, please take your seat.
Mr. Ajmal, where were you when Mrs. Ajmal died?
I was at Castle for having
No, you weren't. You weren't with Mr. Khan at the restaurant when Anisha Ajmal was murdered. In fact, you were at your house with Mrs. Ajmal arguing as you had done the past month.
No, I was at the ATM, then I began to the restaurant with Castle.
You're lying. When was the last time you spoke with your wife?
Last time I spoke with Anusha, it was before leaving for campus and then
You're lying once again?
I'm speaking the truth. I didn't lie. Believe me, I can't find lying.
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant to the case.
However, prosecutor, you may proceed.
But that is not what your call records say. You not only called her, but you called her twice. Once at 8:45 p.m., then at 9 p.m., and finally at 9:15 p.m., which is extremely close to her death time. Along with all these, your location shows you at your residence with Mrs. Ajmal from 9:15 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. What do you say about this? Your Honor, this is a video caught by one of the CCTVs of the United Bank by the Ajmal residence, which shows Mr. Ajmal murdering his wife in a fit of rage and then leaving for the restaurant.
This is so excellent, the way you are presenting these things.
It was her fault. I gave her everything. She was the one who cheated on me and then shamelessly accepted it from her. On top of that, she got her lover with 0 ounce of weight ticket. I do am a human. There's a limit to how much I can withhold. That night, that argument was the last attempt. I couldn't control my emotions and that's when I saw the jam waist which her lover gifted her. So I used the same waist to end her life with. What's so wrong with it?
Everything is wrong with what you did. Your Honor, the state calls it final witness to the stand.
You may proceed. Miss, please state your name, occupation, and relation with the deceased party director.
I am Harish Sulpikar, a nurse and college friend of Anusha.
Miss Harish, please tell us what you know about Mrs. Ajmal and her situation.
We were close as sisters in college. Time went by, we both got busy in our lives and lost contact. Last month, coincidentally, we met at the shopping mall and exchanged contact information. As we had a lot to catch, we talked to each other every single day. As cause and effect occurred between Anusha and the last relation, which over the course of a month developed into something forensic. We laughed, mistook me for his maternal cousin with the same name. Language limitations became a catalyst for this atomic blast, and that resulted in the death of my sister-like friend.
Your Honor, the state rests its case.
Your Honor, defense respects the court's decision.
In light of all the evidence and witnesses, I find the defendant Bilal Ajmal guilty of the murder of Anisha Ajmal. Mr. Ajmal, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. May this serve as justice for a victim and a reminder of consequences of such actions. Court is adjourned.
Stop. Mr. Ajmal communicated with his wife by putting away the doubts cooking in his heart. Then he might have been able to see through this complex situation, but instead he chose the path of ego, and we all can see how that ended with the death of the love of his life and the life imprisonment sentence.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this and have a nice day.
Thank you.